Beautiful people, welcome back. How y'all doing, man? How are y'all doing? I have missed you so much. I hope that you all are taking care of yourself. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And I am naming this episode 2024-2025, Don't You Dare. Right? I know it's been a minute since you have received a podcast from me, but you all, if I'm honest, I took the time to just recharge. If you notice, I haven't been on social media much. I haven't been in anybody's way. I've intentionally been taking care of me, and it is a beautiful feeling. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, or even if you're listening, I am currently in Miami on the 1st of January. I can show you on my cell phone if you can see it. Yeah, there we go. And I was so elated to get back and connect with you all as my community. I will say this, that Conversations Unleashed is evolving. We have grown tremendously. It has blown my mind, and I could not leave you all hanging. So from now on, the new format to make sure you get the most substance and the most context will be bi-weekly. So going forth in 2025, you will get 2 strong episodes from me twice throughout the month. They're going to be longer, probably 15 to 20 minutes. But I want to be able to give you things that you can actually take in and substance. And in this world with so much noise and chaos, which we've talked about before, I want to make sure that you can take something away from that. Now, between those 2 weeks, you'll be getting a lot of different clips and things that people can review and share with others. But I want to make sure that in this new year, you are getting the most substance. That's the best way I can say it, that you can get. So we are here. I have my notes here with me on my phone. I'm excited. I want to give you a reminder before we start this episode, and that is, do not forget to pick your word and your scripture for this year. Every year since 2017, and I don't think it's irony, that was the year that Ellen happened. I have it in my safe in my house. I wrote down a scripture and I wrote down a word and I listed out my goals. And by the grace of God, every year I have done better than I did last year. And I know that's because it's just an acknowledgement for me of putting him first, right? And in everything that I'm trying to do. So please don't forget to do that, y'all. Don't forget to do that. So, I like getting right to it. All right, I done gave you the formalities because I missed you. We're 2 minutes in. But today's episode is called Don't You Dare. Don't you dare. Now, I'm going to sit up a little bit closer for this to get into the camera because, y'all, one thing that people have a lot of nowadays, apparently in 2025, they have a lot of audacity. People have a lot of audacity nowadays. And I now understand when my elders used to say, as you get older, you won't care anymore. And it's true. You learn not to care about the opinions of others because oftentimes those with the loudest opinions don't have any results. If you pay close attention to it, the people that are talking the most on social media or the most messy oftentimes are not where they should be at in their own life. And in 2025, I'm coming with this type of energy. Don't you dare. Don't you dare bring no foolishness up over here in my world. Don't you dare speak negativity and death unto people that I'm around and my students and my family. Don't you dare. Don't you dare bring stress to other people. Don't you dare spill unhealed trauma onto other people. Don't you dare. That is a phenomenal way to start this year. And I have 4 things that I want to make sure that you don't dare to do. All right. Because, with Conversations Unleashed rising together, the goal of us is to rise together. We should be better than we were last year. And I want to make sure that we keep that. So the first thing I don't need you, I want you to not dare to do. OK, don't you dare be faithless this year. Don't you dare be faithless this year. I'm aware there's a lot of different religions and things inside of the world, and that's cool. And that's why I didn't give, when I say faithless, I'm not telling you a specific religion to believe in. What I am saying is, beautiful people, you need to believe in something bigger than yourself. I am often, if you ever encounter me in life or have come to the Ron Clark Academy to hear me teach or speak or whatever, if you notice, I'm always treating people with a smile and some love. Even on my worst days, some days I don't even feel like it, if I'm honest. And I do that because I remember during a really dark period of my life, I remember being down and choosing to have faith even when I didn't feel like it. And I know there was a catalyst. Here's a true story that I haven't told anyone on a book, on a speech, tour, whatever. I remember in 2015 at 102P Cherry Court Apartments in Greenville, North Carolina. I remember sitting down and I will go take a shower. And I remember because I'm about 6'4", you can't tell. So I'm sitting in the shower and I remember because the shower rod used to be like here, I can look over it. And I remember just like pretending someone would ask me questions and see how well I could respond to it. I will never forget that. So I think about it now, there was an expression of like me saying that someday, you're going to be doing this, Bonner. Now, did I know I would be an international keynote speaker? No. Did I know that I'll be working at an incredible school with two great leaders and the whole team of leaders? No. But I just remember that gesture was like an act of faith. I remember when I didn't have any money and I was still giving, right? I want you to have some faith this year that God can do some incredible things in your life. There was one lady I used to deal with or date, and she used to say this saying. She used to say, God, show me how good it can get. And I know in 2025 that everybody's gonna have this new year, new me, blah, 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 blah. But listen, I want you to put yourself in a posture of, I'm believing and trusting that great things are gonna happen for me. I believe God's gonna do some amazing things in my life. And you can't get caught up in how it looks. You can't get caught up in how it looks. You just can't. Before I gave a speech in front of 10,000, I was giving a speech in front of 30 people. Heather Watson, I believe is her name, the principal in North Carolina, that gave me a chance to come speak for a $50 gift card. If I would have just given up on that little piece, y'all, I wouldn't be here. So don't be faithless this year. Don't you dare be faithless this year. I think the Bible even says, do not despise small beginnings. So don't trip out if you're not where you should be at right now. Everything takes time to grow. So one, don't dare, don't be faithless. Cause look, I can go on and on about that. Cause look, God been so good to me, man. But number two, don't you dare be messy this year. Don't you dare be messy this year. When I say messy, I am talking about people that are unhealthy, right? You're unhealthy physically. You're not moving your body. You're unhealthy relationally. You're messy. You gossip about everybody else. You talk about everybody else. You're mean-spirited. You're not kind. Like, don't you dare be messy this year. In 2025, we are not tolerating people who are messy. It is no point to do so. You want to know why? Because being messy is just putting negative energy out into the world. And you know what happens on social media? People choose to be negative, family, and then they're shocked when someone does something or something crazy happens to them. None of us are perfect. Nobody. But what you can do is try your best to be intentional about how can I not be messy and help others. That is one thing I want people to understand. And I like how Big Sean says it. Big Sean says in one of his songs that my friends say the good things behind my back and the bad things to my face, right? You got to have those type of people in your life. If you are around messy people, I'm assuming you messy. If you're around people that all they do is talk about other people or it's a lifestyle for them, but you have no fruit, you have no results, I'm not trying to be around you. Why? Because you're bringing me down. And they're probably bringing you down too, right? So look, I need to change your mentality on that. I want you to think differently about that. What are some character flaws that you need to change? For me, there's a lot of things I've been working on these past 2 years through therapy and with God. It's a lot of things that I need to get done. So I want you to make sure that you keep that in mind as you push forward. How can you not be messy? Don't you dare be messy. Now let's get to this next one. Okay, then we talked about don't you be faithless this year. We also talked about don't you be messy. But here's another one. Don't you dare be broke in 2025. Don't you dare be broke in 2025. If you talk to my students, they will say probably, right, that Mr. Bonner always talks about financial literacy. And y'all, the reason why I talk about it so much to my kids, because I grew up on food stamps. My parents, you all were incredible people. Like if you ever meet them, incredible people, my biggest asset in the world. But I want you to understand that because my parents had a kid both at 17, 18 years old, and because their parents grew up in poverty, they had to claw their way out. So my parents were like the transitional leaders in our generation, right, in my family tree, because they went back to college. They worked those long 40, 50, 60-hour weeks to make sure that we can go to college, play AAU basketball, and et cetera. And what I learned is, everyone, As you begin to grow and have conversations with people, financial literacy is everything. We live in a capitalistic society. How do you think you want to survive in an environment that operates on money and you don't understand money? So look, in 2025, don't you dare be broke. How do you do that? I'm gonna give you a couple steps because I know people say, well, Mr. Bonner, you know you have a business and did it. Listen, y'all. When I was a first year teacher, I had 3 jobs. I was working at South Greenwood Elementary. I taught myself how to do photography. I used to be a wedding photographer. Taking a step deeper, I was taking weddings, pictures of weddings when I was going through my own divorce, right? Wild time. I was also working at the Drew Steele Center in Greenville, North Carolina, working with students with autism and Down syndrome. And in that time, I learned the importance of hustling. I learned the importance of budgeting. So those are 2 things that you need to do in 2025. If you're not where you're financially at right now, don't jump straight to investing in Bitcoin and options, all that. Listen to me. Listen, come here, come here, come here. In 2025, that's what you need to do. You need to first build a budget for yourself. Who do you think you are that you don't tell your money where to go? That's all a budget is. If Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Google, OpenAI, all of these companies, private or public, have a budget sheet or a list, a balance sheet of where they're spending their money, who in God's name do you think you're not able to do the same thing or supposed to do the same thing? These companies are worth trillions of dollars. So the first thing you need to do is build a budget for yourself. See where your money is going. Then the second thing you need to do is earn more money. Once you budget and you start earning more money, you will find yourself being able to tackle debt more. You will find yourself be able to invest more. You'll find yourself to be ready for opportunities. 2025, y'all, life is about experiences. It's not necessarily about I'm having the latest car and whip and I'm out here with the nice chain and I'm on this vacation with my. Listen, that's cool and all. But you know what the reason why I don't want you to dare to be broke in 2025? Because I have found out that money gives you one thing that is so powerful, and that is freedom. Everybody wants the G-Wagon and the Lambo, and they want to look nice with the custom designer clothes. But what about this? Can you wake up and have a slow morning? Can you choose to stay at a vacation or a place longer because you want to? I heard someone say that what's the point of having a Rolex, right, if you use it to clock in for work every day that you don't enjoy? Powerful statement. I want you to get your mind around the financial piece because, especially to my educators and people out there, I firmly believe if they were going to pay teachers more, they would have done it by now. If you look at how we have been spending with our government, if you look at the things we've been doing with giving money to other countries, et cetera, if they were going to do it, they would have done it by now. So this topic I'm passionate about because I've seen and I'm working in poverty-stricken environments. I'm a teacher. I've seen kids in unique scenarios, and I don't want people to go through that. I still have 4 to 5 jobs right now, right? I work my behind off, but I want to drop that to you. We went through, let me get my phone, right? We went through Don't You Dare Be Faithless, Don't You Dare Be Messy, Don't You Dare Be Broke. And I'm going to do another separate episode for the money one because I think that'll be good. But the last one, y'all, for this year, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, don't you dare be hard on yourself. Number 4, don't you dare be hard on yourself. Truth be told, a lot of my listeners and people that listen to this podcast, you're one of a kind, baby. There is nobody like you. You are absolutely brilliant. And the funny thing is, you're doing all the magic you've been doing and you didn't even have a blueprint. For some of us, we didn't have someone to guide us, to show us how to go into a field, how to do something. And look at you. You're here. You're making it happen. And one of the things I want to make sure that I stress to you on today is this, okay? I want you to get in your mind that we all have one life and a lot of us are doing the best that we can. And if you're waking up doing the best that you can, don't you dare beat yourself up for making a mistake. Y'all, there was times in my life and patterns in my life that I fell into and began to do. And it wasn't until I learned in therapy to show kindness to myself. I now understand why I made some of the decisions I made. Good decisions and unhealthy decisions. And you know the great thing about that is I've gotten to a space where I can't beat myself up about that no more. Why? Because it's in the past. And if I take the time out of our precious time out of the day, these 24 hours that we're blessed with that aren't guaranteed, and I take the time to turn around and I'm looking in the rear view of what I did, instead of looking at where I'm going and where I'm presently at, I'm robbing myself. Don't you dare rob yourself this year by beating yourself up about things that you could have done or would have done. Hindsight is 2020, right? I could do that all day. I wish I would have bought Bitcoin in 2022. I wish I would have bought Bitcoin when it was 3 cents in 2008. I coulda, woulda, coulda. We all could go down that route. I wish I wouldn't have dealt with such and such. I wish I would have changed my major to this. I wish I would have married such. Look, you can, but let's turn forward in 2025. Let's get present in the moment and show gratitude towards ourselves and where we're at. And then we can look further on and say, you know what? That's where we're pushing. This title of this podcast is called Don't You Dare. Don't you dare deal with any foolishness this year. Don't be faithless. Don't be messy. Don't be broke. And don't you be hard on yourself. This year, I decree and declare it's going to be one of the best years of our life. And I say it every year, and I mean it. I'm going to stand on that. And I believe that for you too. If you're looking at this video right now, I want you to know, baby, that it's going to be great. Everything is going to work out. There's a scripture that says all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord. I believe it's going to work out for you. I believe it's going to work out for me. I believe we're going to be healthy this year. I believe we're going to be wealthy this year. I believe we're going to be mentally stable. We're going to be emotionally stable this year. Our nervous system is going to learn how to calm down this year. I believe that opportunities are coming your way. I believe that, you know what, you're going to do transformational things, not only just for your life, but the impact on other people's lives. And in order to do that, you have to keep the mentality of don't you dare. Do not allow people in life to have the audacity to shake you up. You got to have your faith. You got to make sure you're weeding out and cutting out the messiness. You got to make sure that you're not out here being broke. We talked about that a little bit, and you got to remember to not be hard on yourself. And if you can do those 4 dynamics, those 4 paradigms, I believe 2025 is going to be amazing for you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Conversations. You know what I'm saying? Unleashed, rising together, beautiful people. I am here. I'm going to enjoy my time with the notebook. I'm going to go grab some food, but I want you for the start of this week, I want you to have yourself in the right mindset. And if you're not there, it's going to get better. All right. Do not forget, it is about legacy over likes. You know, I love all of you dearly. The reason why I'm doing these videos too, or I'm putting on YouTube and audio, because y'all, this is also documenting we're growing together, right? I'm getting older. Y'all are getting younger, right? So this is a cool way so that even my nephews and my nieces and one day my own children can look back and be like, look at my daddy looking good with that cream and olive on in Miami, talking about legacy. Hey man, I love y'all. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in about a week and a half. And there'll be a better episode coming your way. Take care, and never forget, legacy over likes. Peace.